I'll sort of spin it round. That's our window. So you can see we've got quite a nice view. It's a nice view out on Darling Harbour, but it's just one window. It's just a window that doesn't open, and so it's a very standard hotel room in every sense. The oddest thing I think to kind of grapple with is that for us the windows don't open, so there's actually no fresh air at all. So it's just air conditioned air for 2 weeks. So it's best not to think about that. I think we don't spend a lot of time pondering that, but it's a nice view. We actually have a very nice view of Darling Harbour, but it is a bit kind of confronting to not be able to open the windows. On our bus on the way here, there was a lady who was a smoker, and she sort of said, well, what are the options for smoking? Because, I want to have a smoke. And they kind of said, well, your options are we'll give you a nicotine patch and that's it. And she was quite taken aback by that. And she said, well, surely there's somewhere I can go, or, I can go there. They said, no, sorry, too bad. You can't smoke in the room because you'll set the alarms off. And if you do that, it's a $2,000 fine. You have to stay in your room and we'll give you nicotine patches and that's it. So there's no alternative. There is no backup. So I guess it's a great way for her to quit, but I would certainly not say it's a luxury experience. I mean, to be fair, the hotel here has tried to make things as good as they can. I mean, they've invited us to these odd little games you can be COVID king or quarantine queen. They invite us to dress up using lampshades and just things in your room and take a photo. So, I mean, they do all these kind of contests to make things fun. And the staff here have been terrific at the hotel. Like, you ring them the room service, I guess, and they bring towels and whatever you need. So they'll kind of drop to the door. So I can't fault the hotel too much in terms of that they've tried. That said, you can't escape the fact that you are locked in this room and you are more or less a prisoner on this level and within these confines, and it is a reasonably small room. So that's just the reality we have to accept. But we knew that going into it, and we knew that would be part of it when we returned home as well. And that's where we are for 14 days. So this is kind of home. It's a pretty standard hotel room. There's nothing lavish about it. One thing just to mention, I suppose, that we did do early on is get a spin bike. There's companies here now that are kind of offering rentals to the quarantine hotels. So any good entrepreneurs in London might want to latch onto that. But we're paying $450 for 2 weeks, which is an obscene price tag. But essentially it gives you some exercise. So we've had a spin bike brought in, which has kind of helped keep us sane. Personally, for me, I've spent a lot of time making TikTok videos, just of random goings on around the room. And I've been doing all sorts of bizarre things, worming around on the floor, and I don't know, just making these kind of amusing videos, which actually soaks up a huge amount of time. So I've been absorbed with that. I've been doing other social media postings as well. I have a book there, which I've kind of been sitting there. I haven't actually started it. I've been meaning to start it. You'd think I would, given all the time. And just talking to friends on social media. And that's about it. We just kind of sit around, talk. Occasionally we'll drink, though there are alcohol caps here in Australia for our rooms. We're allowed either 1 6-pack or 1 bottle of wine per person per day. So that's the limit. So, which is a reasonable amount for most people, but basic. We had chicken sandwiches the other day, but it's canned chicken. It's kind of very, very simple and disappointing for the most part. Or there's just these kind of bizarre meals that get served up to you. We had, fish on some sort of bean tomato paste. I don't even know what it was. And you get these kind of odd meals arrive at your door. It's all part of the cost. We're paying $4,000 for 2 weeks to be here. And so you get 3 meals a day as part of that. Thankfully, we can order Uber Eats as well. So that's kind of been our backup go-to when things don't work out with our provided meals. We have an alternate source to be able to order meals as required. So that has been quite helpful for us.